What you're doing is looking at your product on the diagonal and tilting it up like that, 30 degrees. So you're kind of looking at it from that angle, and that's what we're drawing. So I'm going to turn that round so that I'm looking at it like that. Right, you take yourself a piece of isometric grid paper and you put it with the word top at the top. And then you put your paper on top of that so you can see the lines through it. Now what I'm doing first of all is I'm going to draw the bottom piece, the frame of this. So basically I'm starting down the page and towards the left of the page. So I'm doing a vertical line there, and I'm doing a 30-degree line there and along there. That's the bottom corner of my thing. And then I'm going to put in the line at the back, here and here, and then the top. You'll notice that I'm turning the paper round because my arm will draw in a comfortable position. So here we go. Okay, so that's the basic block, basic crate that bottom piece will fit in. I'm only doing the bottom piece first. So now I've got to put in some detail. I've got the top of it there, which is thick, so there's a line for the bottom of that. And then the sides, I've got something like that. There. And then across here. You haven't got to draw over the lines, you've just got to draw parallel to them. And then, of course, across the bottom here, and that piece will come down about there. So that's the bottom of my my shape. Now, the next bit, I've got to draw the shape of the dog, the body of the dog. So I'm going to draw that in this way. This is a new idea. I'm going to imagine, I'm just going to draw that piece, the body of the dog with the tail, and I'm going to imagine that I've got a clear plastic packing case that is in, and that's called the crate. So I'm going to draw the crate on top of the, where it goes, on top of the bottom part of it. So it's like this. And it's quite thin, so I don't need to make it exaggerate that, making it thicker. So within that rectangle, I'm going to draw the body of the dog. So I've got from here, I've got the tail, going up like that. And then I've got the back of the dog there. Now you'll notice I've got all the lines I've done so far have been quite faint. And you'll see why in a moment. Right, so that's one side of the body of the dog. So what I'm going to do now is to give that a bit of 3D. So I draw a line across each corner, and I'm basically going to put the back of it on. Right, so that's the body of the dog. Now I want that bit to stand out quite clearly on the drawing, so I'm going to go over that heavily now. Just pressing slightly harder with the pencil. Now you can't do this with a pen, it's got to be a pencil. Notice I'm turning the page round so that I can draw in what's proving to be the most comfortable position. You do need to make sure your elbow is resting on the table, so you can't do this just on the very edge. You've got to make sure the elbow of the hand that you're drawing with is on the table. Right, that's that. Now we can see the lines that I drew first of all, and the lines for the crate. They're all faint. I'm not going to rub anything out, just leave it. Just the eye won't see those, just ignore them. So basically I've got a similar thing to do back here for the head of the dog. So another crate now needs to be drawn. And after a while you won't need the grid paper underneath because you'll get the hang of where the lines have got to go. Right, and that can be done in the same way. And then we have sticks down there. Now, along here we've got an axle rod, which is a bit like that. And then on that we've got a cam. Now, there is a special way of drawing circles in isometric, but at the moment we're just going to draw an oval shape there. And on here, where that comes through, of course we've got our handle. Now I'll go back to the bit I drew first of all, the frame, and I go over the lines heavily that I want the person looking at it to notice. Don't need the grid paper now because all I'm doing is going over the lines. And nearly there. Right, oh, yeah. That is that. Okay, so that's what you should be doing.